The announcement came like a crack across the comm. "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to step off the plane." Every head in the cabin turned. A ripple of curiosity spread through the passengers like wind across tall grass. The young woman in seat 14C froze, her hand tightening on the armrest. She had dark hair tied back in a braid, a battered leather satchel slung under the seat, and eyes that seemed too sharp, too knowing, to belong to an ordinary traveler. I haven't done anything," she said softly. Her voice carried the edge of someone used to keeping secrets. The flight attendant didn't flinch. "The captain has requested it. Please gather your belongings." Phones tilted upward. Passengers weren't just watching, they were recording. To them, this was drama before takeoff. To her, it was something else entirely. Her pulse pounded in her throat. She wanted to argue, to stay in her seat, to vanish into anonymity. But she also knew, deep down, that staying would be worse. Slowly, she stood. The aisle cleared reluctantly, people staring, whispering, one man muttering, "Bet she's on some kind of list." She didn't answer. She only met the eyes of the captain as she stepped off the aircraft. His gaze lingered on her with something unspoken, recognition, maybe even regret. And when the door sealed behind her, no one knew the truth, that the woman they had just ordered off the plane was the only one who could save them. Across the city, on the 54th floor of a glass and steel tower, Daniel Rain checked his reflection for the 4th time. His tie was perfect, his jawline sharp, his reputation sharper still. CEO of Rain Industries, single father, master of control. "Dad," came a voice from the couch. He glanced over. His daughter Lily, 12 years old with a streak of independence he both admired and feared, was watching him with narrowed eyes. "You're doing it again." "Doing what?" he asked, tugging at his cufflinks. "Practicing like it's a date." "You don't date, Dad. You do business." He exhaled, half laughing. "This isn't a date, Lily. It's an arrangement. Appearances matter in my world. The board expects stability. And since Mom's gone," Lily interrupted, her voice tightening. "You're trying to order a girlfriend like you order office furniture." Daniel winced. She wasn't wrong. The girlfriend he'd hired for tonight's gala was a perfectly polished actress, smile on demand, background scrubbed clean, no risk of scandal. Exactly the kind of accessory a CEO was supposed to have. But Lily wasn't having it. She crossed her arms. "Dad, I don't want you to order someone temporary. I want someone real, someone who could start forever with us." Her words landed heavier than any boardroom ultimatum. He met her eyes and, for the first time all day, felt unsteady. "Forever is a long time, kiddo," he murmured. "Then start now," she said. And before he could respond, before the weight of those words could settle, his phone buzzed with an urgent alert, one that would soon tie his fate to a woman strangers were already forgetting at an airport gate. The first 30 minutes of Flight 727 passed without a hitch. Businessmen cracked open laptops, a family in row 19 played I Spy, and a mother soothed her baby with a bottle. To everyone on board, the drama at the gate was already fading into gossip. But in the cockpit, Captain Reeves wasn't calm. He had seen her, the woman with the braid. He knew her face not from airports or passenger lists, but from a classified file buried so deep in military archives that most believed she no longer existed. Code name: Falcon. And now she was gone, escorted off by his own crew. "Captain," the co-pilot asked, puzzled at the beads of sweat forming on his brow. "Weather's clear. Systems normal. What's bothering you?" Reeves didn't answer. Not yet. Because even as the sky looked calm, the radar told a different story. A fast-moving anomaly, a signal that didn't belong, slicing toward their altitude like a predator hunting prey. It began as a shudder. Passengers glanced up, then down again. Normal turbulence. Nothing more. Then the lights flickered. A low, bone-deep hum reverberated through the cabin. Overhead bins rattled. The plane dropped. Suddenly, sharply. Gasps turned into screams. "Ladies and gentlemen," the intercom crackled, the captain's voice strained, "please remain seated and fasten your seatbelts." In the chaos, one passenger, a teenager live streaming the whole ordeal, shouted, "Yo, we're going viral." As the plane pitched again, harder. The anomaly wasn't weather. It was man-made. Jammers scrambled navigation, forcing the aircraft blind. Somewhere out there, someone wanted Flight 727 to vanish. And the only person who could override the system had been ordered off. Back at the terminal, she sat alone. No phone, no coffee, no distraction. Just waiting. For what? She wasn't sure. She should have walked away, should have booked another flight, disappeared back into the shadow she lived in. Instead, she felt it. The hairs on her arm prickling, the instinct honed from years of missions she could never speak about. Something was wrong. Her burner phone buzzed, a number she hadn't seen in years. She answered with a single word. Falcon. The captain's voice came low, urgent, breaking protocol. They're in trouble. I can't hold her steady. We need you. For a moment, silence. Then her jaw tightened. You should never have let me off. I know, he admitted. But if you don't come back, they all die. She stood, slinging the satchel over her shoulder. Around her, travelers bustled unaware. She wasn't just a passenger anymore. She was about to become what she'd sworn never to be again, the last line between survival and catastrophe.